Welcome. This is a lecture series. Please have paper and pencils ready to take notes. Today we're going to discuss the Oklahoma Academic Standard 8.6.W.3. This is for 8th grade, standard number 6, writing point 3. In this standard it reads that students will quote, paraphrase, and summarize findings following an appropriate citation style and avoid plagiarism. And it mentions citation styles of MLA and APA, among others. Please pause the video and write down how this standard reads. When you read your research information, you're going to come across many different kinds of items that you want to use in your essay. So we need to find a way to organize our information before we do this so that we can keep this information in a place that we can find it later on. Sometimes we're going to find some really neat information and then we're going to forget where we put it. So we need to be able to locate that information and remember whenever you find pieces of research that you want to organize, you might consider using an online bibliography generator. There are many of them that are free and they help you to plug in the information you need to remember exactly where to find your things. If you find something on the internet, you may think, I'll remember where this is, I'll write down this site. But you know, especially educational sites can move those pages and they can remove the information. So if you find something you want to use in your essay, you need to make a copy of it in some way. Please pause the screen and write down the information here that you see on the screen. So let's break down these different things that we need to do whenever we're going to write a research paper. Let's first talk about quoting. This is a word for word citation. This means you're writing down exactly what you've read word for word, but it has to be credited. If you don't credit it, then it's considered plagiarism or stealing. And if you're quoting something word for word, you need to use quotation marks. Please pause the video and write down quote. What is a paraphrase? Paraphrasing is when you read something and then you restate it in your own words. Sometimes if you use part of a phrase that's in the original quote, you're going to need to use those in quotation marks as well. If you use parts of phrases and put them in quotation marks, then you need to make sure that you are adding a specific citation. Even if the paraphrase is in your own words, you still need to add that citation because it is someone else's idea. Please pause the video and write down the definition of paraphrase. So what is the difference between quote, paraphrase, and summarize? Summarizing is when you use your own words. You need to keep it brief. You're just trying to get the flavor of your original evidence. You need to make a very clear distinction between what you think and someone else's. So whenever you are summarizing something and you're introducing or attributing that saying to the source, then you might say something like, according to this author, or this author so-and-so concludes that. So that way it is very clear what is your opinion or thought versus what is the opinion or thought of the author. Always include a citation for summarization as well. Please pause the video and write down the definition of summarize. What are appropriate citation styles? For example, the main one that we use today is MLA, and that's probably the one that you're going to be asked to use. So whenever you go to those free generator sites, just choose the MLA style. You can also choose the APA style if that's what your teacher requests. Your teacher will be very specific in which style they want you to use for your citations. This is an example for a website for the YouTube videos. I plugged in the information. Then I also annotated exactly what was happening on that website so that I could remember what that website was for, and then I will be able to go back to it at a later time and use it for the exact purpose that I need it to be. Take a moment to look at the citation style. Please avoid plagiarism. Make sure that you use quotation marks and that you use citations generators or learn how to write a citation yourself. It is very important that we attribute other people's work to that person and not present it as our own. In a college, for example, if you are caught plagiarizing, you will be asked to leave the college. So let's make good practices and good habits now whenever we're writing our papers. So if we look back at this standard, 8.6.W3, in this standard it tells us that students will quote, paraphrase, and summarize findings following an appropriate citation style, for example, MLA or APA, etc., and avoiding plagiarism. Now that you understand the standard a little bit better, take your notes, practice these skills when you're writing your papers, and then take an assessment to ensure mastery of that skill. Thank you for joining me today.